Just wanted to start by thanking you for coming in today. We really appreciate your time. And feel free to be as honest as possible because your testimony could very well help others in a similar situation.
Sure.
If you want to start just by briefly describing the accident and what happened.
My son and I were grooming the female Akita. It was a dog attack. And anyway, my son got up and left, went to go to the shower, and I'm still petting. And Akitas sing to you when they're happy. And this dog had been singing for probably 35 minutes to us. And I'm just sitting on the ground where she's at and glanced over to see what the male was doing on the other side of the patio. And out of my peripheral vision, all I saw were teeth coming at me. So I instinctively grabbed her when she bit me. And she hit me in the throat. And I couldn't talk and I couldn't breathe. It was kind of a scary situation. And then the male walked over, and I'm holding on to her, and he bit me in my arm and took the whole skin off the top of my arm, and then walked around and grabbed my shoulder and proceeded to tear that all bad. And at that time, the lady's house I was at, her son walked by the patio door and yelled, "Peggy's being attacked." And my son come tearing out, naked as a jaybird, and she was right behind him, and she grabbed the dog off my throat and got her away. And needless to say, I was bleeding all over the place. And my son's trying to stop the flow of blood on my throat with a blue towel. I'll never forget that one. And it was just a vicious attack. That's all I can say about it.
If you want to touch on maybe how the attack impacted your life physically, emotionally, financially.
Financially, it wasn't bad because I do have really good insurance. I did spend some time in the hospital. I had 3 sets of surgeons working on me at the same time. Luckily, I'm sure I went into shock, but everything was answered at the hospital by me according to the records. I really don't remember it, to be honest. But the only thing emotionally it's bothered me with was the honesty behind the dog attacks and why I wasn't previously informed that these dogs had bitten someone else in the past. Thank God every day that they were there when it happened because I was supposed to be taking care of the dogs for the next 5 days. I must say it has not made me afraid of dogs, thank you, God, because I do love them. But you're still a little hesitant for a strange dog. But I'm not afraid, I'll put it that way. It is what was. I'm upright and breathing. That's a good thing.
Absolutely. After the accident, what led you to seek legal representation?
Because she, for almost 3 months, would not give me her home owner's insurance. And Medicare was screaming at me for it. And she wouldn't give it. So what other choice do you have besides get an attorney?
And after you contacted Parker and McConkie, what were your initial impressions in the early stages of the case?
Initially, when I came in and met my attorney, told him what had happened and everything else. And he says, well, we'll get the information. That's no problem. And they did exactly what they said they would do. And she was not real happy. She called me up screaming because somebody came and knocked on her door and wanted the information. But it was necessary.
If you want to share maybe how our team made you feel throughout the initial stages as well?
I will say this much for Parker and McConkie, and every time I called with a question, someone answered the phone, and if the person I wanted to talk to was not available at the moment, they did call me back very quickly. It was total support all the way.
And did you ever feel your case wasn't being prioritized?
No, ma'am, not at all. They really kept me informed of everything that was going on all the way.
And as for the outcome, were you satisfied?
I had to be because it was my decision to accept what was offered, mainly because of the personal relationship between my son and this lady that owned the dogs. And it is what it is. It helped a lot of people. I gave a lot of money away. Let's put it that way.
And how did the settlement also improve your situation post-accident?
It didn't affect me at all.
Well, you're very generous to...
That was what it was for.
And since the case has been settled, how has your life changed?
I can't say that the attack had anything to do with it, to be honest, because I'm getting older now and you get weaker as you get older and all that jazz. The physical activity isn't where it used to be, but it may be 50-50 from the attack with my shoulder and stuff. And it may be 50-50 with age. I can't say that.
What would you say to someone who's in a similar situation who's hesitant to Parker and McConkie?
Are you idiots? I mean, it was a great experience. That's all I can say about Parker and McConkie. It was a good experience.
And is there anything else you'd add about your experience?
No, I can just say it wasn't really a long time for the settlement and stuff like that. And it was just, I won't say cut and dried, but it was a good outcome all the way around.
Well, we're happy that you feel that way. And just want to thank you again for coming in. We really appreciate your time, and
You're very welcome.
thank you so much.